Behind the grand tapestry of world history, woven with wars, revolutions, and the rise and fall of empires, lies a hidden thread of gold. This is the story of the architects of our financial world, the dynasties whose influence has quietly shaped the course of nations and the lives of billions. It is a narrative that begins not on a throne, but in the crowded alleys of a ghetto with a single audacious vision. Quick cuts of vintage currency, old maps, and shadowy figures in candlelit rooms. Our story begins in the late 18th century, in the heart of Frankfurt's Jewish ghetto. Here, a man named Mayer Amschel Rothschild laid the foundation for an empire unlike any the world had ever seen. He was a dealer in rare coins and a financier, but his true genius was in his foresight. Mayer understood that information was a currency more valuable than gold, and that family was a bond more secure than any contract. He trained his 5 sons in the art of finance and dispatched them to the 5 great financial centers of Europe: London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt. Animated graphics showing lines of influence spreading from Frankfurt across a map of Europe. This network was revolutionary. While kings and generals waged war with cannons and armies, the Rothschilds financed both sides, their web of couriers outpacing official state dispatches. They built a private intelligence service that gave them an unparalleled edge in the markets. By the 19th century, they were the undisputed masters of European finance, funding everything from Britain's acquisition of the Suez Canal to vast industrial projects, their name becoming synonymous with unimaginable wealth and discrete power. Their strategy created a blueprint for a new kind of global influence, one based not on land, but on liquidity. Transition to images of early industrial America, smoke-billowing factories, sprawling railroads, and early oil derricks. As the 19th century gave way to the 20th, the center of financial gravity began to shift across the Atlantic to a young and ravenous America. Here, new titans of industry and finance emerged, men who would sculpt the modern world from steel, oil, and capital. John Pierpont Morgan, or J.P. Morgan, was a colossus of Wall Street. He didn't just finance industries, he forged them. He consolidated failing companies, creating corporate giants like U.S. Steel and General Electric. His power was so immense that he single-handedly bailed out the U.S. government on more than one occasion, acting as the nation's unofficial central banker. At the same time, John D. Rockefeller was methodically conquering the world of oil. His company, Standard Oil, became a leviathan, controlling nearly every aspect of the industry from the well to the lamp. Rockefeller's ruthless efficiency and strategic acquisitions created a monopoly so powerful it would eventually be broken up by the very government it dwarfed. Together, men like Morgan and Rockefeller weren't just building businesses. They were building the infrastructure of the American century, their fortunes and influence reaching into every corner of society. Shift from black and white historical photos to modern full-color shots of the New York Stock Exchange, Tokyo's trading floors, and glowing cryptocurrency charts. The names may have changed, but the legacy of these dynasties is etched into the very code of our modern world. The principles of centralized finance, global networks, and the immense power of consolidated capital are the inheritance they left behind. The towering banks of Wall Street, the interconnected global stock exchanges that trade trillions in seconds, and even the decentralized promise of digital currency all operate within the framework they built. Their influence persists not just in the foundations they established, but in the very idea that a select few can steer the global economic ship. A final montage showing historical portraits, industrial machinery, modern skyscrapers, and ending on a powerful image of a transparent globe with golden chains wrapped around it. From the back rooms of 18th century Europe to the digital ledgers of the 21st century, the story of financial power is a story of vision, ambition, and control. It serves as a stark reminder that the world we inhabit was not merely discovered, but meticulously designed, and the hands that drew the blueprint still cast a long shadow over us all.